Hey everyone, my name is Rooster and welcome back to Mechabellum. In today's video I'm going to be playing a comp that I very rarely get to play, which is Mustang Scorpion. Even though I know it is a community favorite, I rarely get the chance to play it, and I'll explain why during this very game. Now I'll be up against Zemp, who is one of 401's strongest players, and gives me a hard time always during our game, so a worthy opponent goes for cost control with sledgehammers and marksmen, and I decide to pick up an intensive training specialist here with the sabers and the crawlers. This will allow me to get into typically a hound here on round 1 because I'm lacking some chaff clear, and while level 2 hound gets to one-shot crawlers, which isn't a concern into cost control by the way, so that I guess makes hounds even better of an option here. But yeah, it's always nice to have that hound level available because they are a chaff clear unit that really depends not just on techs, but on levels as well. And we're going to be pushing into the right side here. I kind of have two options. This is a pretty good building layout for aggro, I'd say, because right side I'm pushing into the small turret, which is pretty easy to take down and not a problem at all for things like sabers. And then on the left side I have an open field as well. So this makes it a bit tougher for Zemp, who is defending, to try and kind of guess where I'm going to be. What you're going to see me do here is put no chaff on the line because I want this rapid fire cannon to ideally lock onto my saber and then the crawlers to move in afterwards. And on the left side you will see me put down a crawler here on the left side of the wall because this pulls the enemy units towards the center, and then the wall and the turret kind of do the rest and really help with pulling all of the units away from this open tower I have. Double hound here, as you will see. I am more towards the right side of the board because I am trying to avoid the chungus in the middle, as that one is quite scary if it manages to get a lock onto the sabers. So if this was on the right side, I could still push into it, but I would have to put a crawler on the line to tank the first shot. As you can see here, we do just fine. Marksman does manage to find a lock, but we also managed to get a Tara debuff, and both of my sabers, luckily, are still alive. After that, the hounds, the level 2 hound that we have, and it should be a very successful round for us. Our heavy armor or anti-armor cannon does a good job here of clearing some crawlers, helps out with the sledgehammers, and it's as good of a round as you could hope for as we take the win. Now round number 2, Rhino Assault shows up, which is the scariest card here. Photon Coating could be worth considering for one of the sabers, but I feel like Rhino Assault is just one of those cards that you can't pass on round 2. It's so strong and very, very hard to defend, especially when you're playing aggressively. And so I tend to just, forcibly pick it, even if I would like to maybe have a photon coating item there. Now, with that being said, my idea here was to get into Mustang because I have the intensive training, and that makes it a bit easier to get over that hurdle that Mustang has of getting a couple levels under their belt. And until I get there, I'm just going to call the bluff and say that he's not going to buy an air unit here because he's already into triple marksman, so Phoenix would be a bit weird. And, I mean, he could buy Wasp, but I'm willing to take that gamble because I want to buy Mustang anyway next round. I go for an aggressive positioning here of the Rhino on the left side. Zemp does put 2 crawlers all the way in the back to kind of have this double layer of stalling. I go for triple crawler in the back myself to kind of achieve that same level of stall. Now you can see most of the crawlers did go forward thanks to that forward crawler I had. So actually my Rhino only has to fight 1 pack of chaff rather than 2. Whereas his, I mean, it's stuck fighting 3 crawler packs right now and losing a lot of hit points for it. Right side we do lose a saber, but the Rhino gets to the tower. That means that we get a debuff and we should end up winning. Yeah, my crawlers are able to take down that Rhino by themselves. So a solid defense here of the spell. Right side tower was leveled once. I mean, that's, I guess, the good thing about cost control is he's able to make more of these type of plays, right? Go for more spells, still have money available to still buy enough units and also level the towers. But fantastic round for us. Really happy with how that turned out. And we keep up that pressure as Zemp's already down to 3,300. Now, round number 3, and that Mustang I was hoping for does show up. And immediately I think, well, I don't need Firebadger because my chaff gear is good enough. Stormcaller on aggro tends to be a bit awkward, and Rhino is fine, but not a long-term plan. So if I wanted to have Mustangs anyway, why not pick up that level 2 and start, building onto that unit? I have intensive back off cooldown as well, so I could either make another level 2 Mustang pack, or make a level 3. And I'm deciding to start pushing on that left side because I saw that he leveled his tower on the right. And honestly, with a high level Mustang, I should be able to make a dent in, yeah, kind of the low amount of defense that he has on this side. I was debating whether or not I wanted to have a level 3 Mustang or a level 2, if I wanted to have it in the middle or on the outside. So that's what you see me do here. I will put a Sabertooth in front, kind of to tank, so it has something to work with. But eventually I start thinking, well, why not put this Saber more towards the left, so it starts shooting the tower and also avoids this anti-armor cannon in the middle. And if I'm doing that, then I'd rather have a high-level Mustang right behind it. So we're going to switch things around again, have this Mustang on the back. It is going to be, at least the back Mustang is going to be on the tower height here. That means that the back ones should turn if something were to show up here, so that you won't get debuffed by a Phoenix or a Wasp. Kind of an important little thing there to keep in mind. And we will go for the level 3 Mustang. I also pick up a Hound all the way in the top left, because as you can see, it pulls a good amount of chaff, and hopefully that opens up this tower for an attack. Right side, opponent went for Badgers alongside the Sledgehammers, and immediately gave them range as well. So that's going to do a good job here of clearing the chaff, and it does make me a little bit antsy because while the Sabers are good with Mustang and they provide adequate front line, they're not exactly the best type of units to try and kill mid-sized mechs with. So things like Sledgehammer, Badger can be tricky to kill. Side armaments can sometimes work, but into level 2 Badgers that really starts to become more of an issue, and you also do not one-shot the Firebadgers with a level 1 Saber if they're level 2. So I was starting to think, well, maybe I just start building Scorpions here. Just sell out of my Sabers, because really I don't think I need them. And this is where, right, this is one of those rare games where I get to play Mustang from the start. Especially in high MMR, people tend to build a lot of chaff, which is not ideal for Mustang. It's not exactly the best unit at killing crawlers. It's good into Fang, but not so much good into crawlers, which are the tankier chaff version. So it always needs a bit of backup, which is awkward, because you're going to need to spend deployments on both Mustang and something like Arclight. And then aside from that, people really just tend to buy chaff there with range really early on. So ranged Arclights are a bit of an issue. Tarantulas especially are a big problem, and they're very popular in high MMR at the moment. So that's why I rarely get to play Mustang. But in this game, because we have the intensive training, because we get that leveled unit drop, I'm able to kind of get over that annoying hurdle of getting the initial first levels and also making it to the tech, right? Because Mustangs without range is a nightmare to play. You're kind of forced to get that range very early on. Here we're able to do so, though, and I got the mass-produced Scorpion card from the round 4 card selection. That means we can immediately sell a Sabertooth and buy 2 Scorpions with immediate range. So we just got ranged Scorpion and ranged Mustang, and this is such a good card in my opinion, because it has 10 less range. But that means it has 130, and your Mustangs have 135. Whereas usually it's the other way around, and the Mustangs tend to kind of get in front of your Scorpion, but this way works out perfect, and the Scorpion stays in front of them, keeping them very safe. Right side looking a bit tough here. Looks like our chaff clear is not exactly on point. I am still missing some deployments, right? Some Mustangs, and ideally I'd get a couple more Hounds too, but left side at least is looking strong. And I'm okay losing the right side if that means I get to win the right side, and we should still be able to get a decent engagement here, at least I hope. My Mustangs get in front now though, as my Scorpion is a lot slower than the Mustangs. That cannot be remedied. And that debuff is really, really awful. Sadly, level 1 mass-produced Scorpion cannot one-shot level 2 Firebadgers, even if they're cost control. So that's a bit of an awkward break point. But hey, as we get some levels, we should be just fine. Round number 5, lots of good item options here. Haste module for the high-level Mustang, heavy armor for, you know, a potentially level 2 Scorpion, as I do have intensive training available, and even orbital bombardment is such a nice spell. Now, because it's round 5, I decide not to go orbital bombardment because I would only get it back on round 10, which is pretty far ahead, and I'd rather get one of the items here. And I decided to settle for the heavy armor because I felt like frontline was more important than DPS. I already have a high-level Mustang. And currently the damage will have to come from something like those scorpions killing the Firebadgers. Level 3 Mustang should do just fine into cost control. That's not a worry. I want to make sure that, you know, I can tank these high-level Firebadgers with items and now Scorching Fire as well that little bit longer. So that's what we end up going for. I will slowly start selling out of my existing sabers and then replace them with scorpions. We will make sure that we level a scorpion here and give it the heavy armor item. And I will also go for a level 2 Scorp and a level 2 Mustang, and then we can level one of our existing Scorpions to level 2. I will undo here because I figure out that I can go triple deployment, so I buy a level 1 Crawler, and then a level 2 Scorpion and level 2 Mustang. Again, this is going to be on that line, at least the back Mustangs will be, so that the front can still move forward, and the back can potentially turn if something shows up on the flank. Just got to make sure that I give that heavy armor item, and I run out of time there at the very end. So sadly, my Scorpion does not have the heavy armor, which might come back to bite us. We'll have to see. Level 2 Scorpion, though, is able to one-shot a level 3 Firebadger, so we have fixed that problem at the very least. Oil has been used. My Mustangs, sadly, are burning. Right side looking ever so slightly better, but still struggling, and I kind of doubt that armor would have made a difference here, but maybe it would have. It is just a straight up mistake. So yeah, let's quickly get that heavy armor onto one of our Scorpions next round. Hopefully I don't lose my shield here and the Mustangs just go down. That would be nice. Or I can just lose my barrier because 2 Mustangs are underneath. Alright, not ideal there, but it is what it is. Round number 6. Improved firepower control system shows up. I have been skipping a lot of haste modules up to now, so finally I will grab an item for my Mustangs if Bear-like insists. And yeah, I mean, we've got a level 4 Mustang now with an improved firepower. Unsurprisingly, it is top on damage. The Rhino Assault here is back, and I'll just use that in the middle here because I think that's where he'll drop it if he drops it over there. Heavy armor has been put on the Scorpion where it belongs. And now I think, okay, I need to fix my crawler problem because I could see that the crawlers were a massive issue. And he was really starting to mass them. And well, it makes sense because it is the best chaff to buy into Mustang. And then stacking hit points and going Subterranean Blitz is textbook counter to Mustang. So yeah, not unsurprising here, but it's a scary looking board for me to deal with. So I'm happy that I'm buying a few more not Mustangs, Hounds in this case. And we do pick up that range because I'm going to need the help of the Hounds with Mech Rage, hopefully, to take down these crawlers in a, you know, reasonable time slot. Let's see. Crawlers, I mean, you can see them streaming in right now. They are providing a lot of distraction. Right side seems to be holding on a bit better. Left side has, well, now been stripped of all of its front line, so my Mustangs will start burning to these Badgers. They do a good job though of stalling, and the right side seems to be just fine. That level 2 Scorpion with the heavy armor holding strong, and looks like we should come out with a win, as this Marksman only has a sliver of hit points remaining, and that Badger plus Marksman combo on the left is certainly not going to be enough for our remaining units. So a solid round here. The wall is going to put some distraction in the way of my Scorpion, but it will be able to eventually get through everything and clutch the round. Picks up a level as well. Mustang has a level available. In round 7, we see the second unit reinforcement selection. Now here, there wasn't really anything in here that I wanted, to be honest. I was most afraid of the Wraith. Because I didn't know if he ran armor or not, and armor could be a problem on the right side. So that's why I end up going for the Overlord, and I will keep it on the board and kind of put it on my weak side. Left side has a high level Mustang with an improved firepower, so I think it should be able to get through an armor Wraith if it shows up, if slowly. But the right side wouldn't be able to do so, so that's why we add that Overlord. I make sure I put it a bit further back because it could show up on the flank as well on that side, so let's just make sure that we're safe. Zemp goes for the Overlords though and immediately gives them range. That's not too scary to me. It is a good counter to Scorpion, but I have, you know, adequate levels, and I have really high level Mustangs, level 5 now on the left side with that intensive training. I should be able to deal with this in the long term. I'm healthy enough at least that I hope I don't die in one turn if I end up losing this round. Notice that we have got level 2 Scorpions all across the board at minimum. I recruited another level 2 here to kind of go symmetrical, and I added 2 more Hounds as well. We went for the second attack enhancement first to try and kind of match that defense enhancement, and it's a great kind of button to click anyway when you're playing Hounds and Mustangs. Both units can use those buffs really well, so it was a good thing to click. Looks like we immediately found a lock on there, so 2 Badgers get 1 shot. Left side also, I think a Badger pack already falling, and this is looking really, really good for us. Overlord not doing too much, but you know, it was there to kind of save us from a potential scary Wraith, and in the meantime, left side is completely crushing. Right side, the boat will help out, start taking down the enemy boats, and things are looking really good. I mean, this is a massive round. So many units still alive, and suddenly Zemp will find himself at 700 hit points remaining. Round number 8, advanced defensive tactics show up, and, well, I quickly pick it up because stacking attack bonuses here with both Hounds and Mustangs on the board should be amazing for me. So, yeah, happy to pick that up. Opponent goes for advanced defensive tactics to kind of make up for the tankiness of their crawlers, kind of bring it back up to, you know, normal crawlers with that cost control debuff with the second defense enhancement. I go for AA Mustang here, Mech Rage as well on my Hounds because we hadn't clicked that yet, and it should help us shaft gear a bit quicker. We have sold the boats because I feel like my Mustang should be able to take care of those air units by themselves. And we buy a level 1 Mustang, which is a bit icky. I wanted the level 2, but I didn't have enough money here to get enough crawlers on the board and also grab a level 2 Mustang still. I put a crawler here on the right side because I didn't want my opponent to missile this Hound, which is what he tries to do. And I put one here on the left as well because I don't want a late missile to hit this Hound and Mustang pack. And as you can see, that is also what is happening, right? Delayed missile to hopefully try and hit this. We don't want that to happen, so front chaff, very important, even though it does get missiled. I go for some missiles myself as well, though. We have one here and one in the middle to try and take down this wall. And, well, let's see how this goes. Opponent not loaning, surprisingly. Apparently had enough money to go for enhanced range and speed and didn't need the extra 200. Overlords will have launcher overload now, which should help. And that's kind of another reason why Mustang Scorp can be hard to play. You're often kind of stuck leveling or trying to level your Mustangs early, getting over those crawler hurdles, and then you finally go Scorpion and your opponent goes for something like an Overlord or an Abyss. Even Phoenixes, especially Phoenix Spider, can be a super scary comp to face. So that's why, yeah, I rarely end up playing this. But here it seemed like a good spot to try it out. We do really well on the left side, but the right side struggled, and one Badger pack, level 4, with the heavy armor, manages to kind of, yeah, avoid all of my Scorpions by the looks of things. And we will have to send this to round number 9. Are we getting outscaled here, perhaps? A little bit scary. Round number 9, more unit reinforcements show up, and I simply decide to go for the Sabertooth and sell because nothing in here really piques my interest. I could have gone for the Phoenix, I guess, if I was really afraid of something big showing up, but I felt like my Mustangs were too big at this point for anything, even Armor Phantom Ray, to really matter. Opponent does go for the Phantoms. I decide to pick up some shields because we do have the Sticky Oil Bomb available. Now, I would think that he uses the Sticky Oil on the left side because that's where my high-level Mustang is, and that's the side that was winning for me. So that should be where he puts it, at least in my mind. So what you'll see me do is trying to beacon this over, although the oil currently in the middle, not exactly where I would expect it. The intensive training is available, level 6 Mustang now for us. We loan, we go for the temp speed as well. And here I'm thinking maybe we should just grab the armor enhancement on the Hounds because armor is very, very good into Firebadgers. We can have a look at these, but 246 damage on a Firebadger. I have a level 4 Hound here that will be blocking 240 damage for every tick. So even his highest level fire, oh, I guess this one is almost, it does more damage, level 5, but it will only be dealing 24 damage per tick, right, to this hound. The other ones will take a bit more damage, but you can imagine how long the stall will be, right? And oh, oil did get moved to where I expected it to be, so I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with this beacon across, because it would be a bit sad if we lost our high-level Mustangs off the get-go, or as we're trying to move across. This time around, it seems like we do keep our Scorpions a little bit safer, and I think, yeah, the Armor Hounds are definitely helping out a ton. Scorpion gotta manage to stay alive here and start dealing with these pesky Firebadgers. Opponent did try to go for the third tech, Field Maintenance, but yeah, that doesn't matter too much when you're up against these Scorpions, and as all of the boats will get taken down from the skies, we do secure the win on round number 9. Yeah, this was a nice game to play. I mean, lots and lots of defense and attack enhancements, right? Advanced defensive tactics, advanced offensive tactics as well. The Tara buffs, playing up against cost control, going for the Hounds and the Mustangs, and yeah, especially being able to get that mass-produced Scorpion card, I think was perfect for me. Very happy when that showed up in the card selection right after opponents committed to Firebadger. Perhaps a bit rude, but hey. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And yeah, I mean, look, intensive training really does help a ton when you want to set up these type of boards where your units are very reliant on getting levels, and it can be tricky to get those Mustang levels sometimes, especially into boards with, you know, early range arc lights or spiders and boards that have a lot of crawlers. But here, we don't have to worry about that. We immediately get the levels, and yeah, nice items there to secure it all. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this comp. I know that it's a very popular one, especially at the casual levels. I hear tons and tons of things about it. So yeah, feel free to comment. If you want to stay up to date with latest content, please consider subscribing. If you want to see me play live, check me out on Twitch. With that being said, take care guys, and see you next video. Bye-bye.